Whether or not, meteorologist Joe Bastardi here. I saw this tweet from Senator Chuck Schumer here about how bad July was, the hottest month ever. Folks, it was 0.35 Celsius above temperatures in the satellite era. It was the fourth warmest in the satellite era. Now, the reason they can make it sound like it's warmer than that is if you factor in the pre-satellite era, where we did not have the kind of accurate measurements we have now, nor do we know what the satellites would have been seeing in the 1930s, 40s, and 50s. That takes the overall temperature down enough so that even though it's fourth warmest in the satellite era, it's first warmest overall because we're going back to 1880 or whatever the heck it is. But the satellite era is a golden age, and it was fourth warmest. Now, it's still very warm. But using the word hot to describe a global temperature of 61 instead of 60.7 or 60.5 Fahrenheit or whatever it was, that's ridiculous calling that hot. Anybody on the beach when it's 60 degrees in New York? All right. So I asked Senator Schumer, I mean, would you go to the beach if it's 60? But let me get a little serious here. All that means is that in the satellite era, the warmth outdueled the cool by 0.35 Celsius. That's what it means. So that when you total everything up, and I'd also like him to explain why the southern hemisphere oceans are getting so cool, because that's very interesting. With 99.9% of the heat capacity in the oceans and most of the southern hemisphere covered by water, that may be the canary in the coal mine as to this eventually changing. There's a great imbalance. But more than this, let's just say, okay, hottest ever, whatever. Okay, let's say, okay, I accept what you say. I want to know what the senator and other people, or the other people on that side of the issue that are pushing this stuff. So let's not just pick on Senator Schumer, okay? Obviously, he's a person of power and influence, and he deserves the ranking he has. So I don't want to pick on him so much. But, I saw the tweet. I decided, well, I'll use this as an example. So let me just ask the whole bunch of them. Are you against this, climate deaths plummeting in the fossil fuel era? Or perhaps you're against, this is not population and food. That's behind this. So it's giving you an idea of what's coming behind. Are you against the personal GDP and life expectancy of the planet going up like this, skyrocketing? Are we against that? Maybe we're against that. We don't want more people profiting. I don't know. Population and food, that's still behind there. But are you against the Earth being the greenest it's ever been in the satellite era? Are we against that? And finally, population and food. Are we against more food being grown than ever? And finally, I mean, if you could only show me in the geological history of the Earth the linkage between CO2 and temperature, that would go a long way to curb some of my skepticism. But again, I'm not trying to pick directly on the good senator from New York. He obviously, if you keep getting elected, you're doing the job for your state, and that's how I am, right, left, or whatever. People know that I'm, I wouldn't be voting for that side of the issue. But then again, the people in the state want that, so that's fine. But I don't want to be picking directly on him, but I want to raise those questions that I've just shown you as to exactly what are you against in this matter. Okay? All right. That's it for now. Enjoy the weather. It's the only weather you got.